Hey guys, welcome back to my channel. If you are new, I'm Bhagya. I'm a post intern currently taking a gap year for my PG prep. I know it's been a lot of time after I have done my last video where I have put up a strategy of how I am going to plan, but then my classes have started and it has been really tough since then. After doing the classes like for 8 hours in a stretch and then preparing, revising them again back so as to retain it, and then also dealing with my addiction with Netflix, it had been really bad. But then I decided that no, this is not what I want to do. Netflix is like, yeah, it has to be like entertainment, but not for everything. I was like, I used to like not even sleep for till 3-4 in the morning, so I thought of really getting rid of it, and so I decided of replacing it with something really good, and I came up with making a new habit of book reading. Right now, till now, I think I'm really successful. I am currently reading The Origin from Dan Brown, and it's really great. I'm half through it, but I must say it's such a beautiful book. It just makes you keep reading it till the end. I know most of you have already read it, but you see, I'm a budding reader and I think this is a really great book for me. So coming to this, I hope everyone are safe and sound at home. With the lifting up of the lockdown, there had been a lot of cases flooding to the hospitals, a lot of COVID cases being spreading really fast, and it is expected that this is transitioning from a stage 3 of community to a stage 4, and that is really dreadful. I hope that all of you guys are staying home and really staying safe. So coming to that, I had a thought when I was in my final year, it was a really scary time. Like to be honest, it was really scary because there were a lot of books in front of me, a lot of things to study. Even the only medicine book had made me like terrible to think about how I'm going to pass my final year. Then we had classes, we had professors, and we had a clinical cases to go and attend to. We used to go to the wards in the morning, but now with this COVID situation, I think the most dreaded people right now are the final years because they don't have any clinical knowledge. Of course, we have our knowledge from second and third year, but then final year is really crucial. We give our all the time to the only cases which we have to go and present in a final year exams, and it is the deciding thing to go between the undergrad and the internship. The final year is the main thing to do. So I thought I never had any close person whom I can ask about taking suggestions of what to read, how to read, and by the time I have came up with a plan, it had already been September, but thankfully I passed through it and it was really great. So so that is why I felt like maybe whatever I had been through, maybe that I can help by sharing it with you guys. So I decided to make a small video regarding what was my strategy, how I prepared, what other books I used. Okay, with all of that, it might be a really big video, so I thought of dividing it into 3 parts. One about the resources or the books what I used for my final year, then how I used them, what I made, how I made, and then the revision or the preparation strategy. So for today's video, I think it will be really great to start with what are the textbooks and resources I used in my final year to go through all that overwhelming situation. Yeah, before that, I want to say one thing. These are the books which I personally used. I won't say that these are the books to use. These are not the only books we have for the final year. For as we know, medicine is really vast. We have a lot of books out there. Some books might be helpful for some might not be. These are the books which helped me pass through it, and maybe if you are already doing some of the books, do continue with that, because shifting textbooks from one book to other during this period is not a good idea. If you haven't started, maybe you can take a chance at using this, but if you have already done, please keep on with that and go on with that. So with that, okay, I'm using with that a lot, I know. So let's get started about the books we use in our final year university exam preparation. So let's get started. The first book I'm having here is, we always start with medicine. So this is the medicine textbook which I use for my exams. So this is Davidson's Principles and Practices of Medicine. Okay, Principles and Practice of Medicine. So this is the book. This is one big book. I know it feels really like makes you think that should we read this textbook? I would say definitely yes. This book has all of the topics required for your medicine preparation. It has all the topics perfectly concise and perfectly given in a pattern which you want to write in your university exams. Like for example, if there is a hepatitis question, and we usually start with definition. If it has a definition, then we go through the etiology, then we go with the pathophysiology, then the clinical features, investigation, and then the treatment, and also the prognosis part, not to forget that. So this textbook has all of it perfectly written in a perfect pattern, so that we don't have to think more. But the only drawback is that it has the font is really small, and so because of that, each paper has a lot of information in it that we sometimes tend to procrastinate by seeing only a single paper, and we feel like this might take eternity to complete. But trust me, this is a really good book if you want to go with. And also, this is an older edition. This is this is a 22nd edition, but the later editions which have come after this are really great, because this edition doesn't have that partitioning, but the later editions, like I think 23rd and 24th, if that has come out, but definitely the 23rd edition, it has each topic has the pathophysiology 2 added in it. So it is really helpful if you want to complete this vast subject in these 6 months. So this is one big textbook for surgery. Isn't it so cute? I mean, yeah, it has been my favorite since then. This is the Bailey and Love's Short Practice of Surgery in the 27th edition. The previous editions were really big, and it was really tough to go through it. It really overwhelmed me, but this real little book, it had been with me for my whole final year. I don't know, I might not read it every day, but it always had been with me. Such was my love for surgery. I hope I get it one this year. So let's hope everything goes well. And yeah, this book is really concise, but for the general surgery stuff, I don't think this would be really helpful, because some part was really vast which wasn't really needed for the university exam, and some of it was really small which were really needed for us. So for that, I shifted back to the SRB's Manual of Surgery, or SRB's Textbook of Surgery. I don't know what was its name. I will definitely link down all the textbook links in the description below, but for now, that is a textbook which you might want to do for general surgery. It's really a lifesaver. When I was in my end of my preparation in December, I guess, I was really confused of what to do with my general surgery, and that book really helped me. With surgery comes orthopedics. So the orthopedics textbook was this. This is the only textbook I was ever suggested from my seniors and also from my professors. So this is Essential Orthopedics from Maheshwari and Mashkar. So this is one beautiful book which is really small. It feels like, oh, this is so great that I can read this book in just 2 days, and I'll start with this. So whenever I started my preparation, like whenever I started my day, or whenever I felt like Davidson was too vast or surgery was too vast, I used to go through this book, do complete a topic, and it felt like, yeah, I at least completed a thing in my to-do list. So this was one such book which really helped me fight with my procrastination, I might say. I don't know, whenever you feel like doing that, just try this once. So I will definitely make a video about how I prepared for my final year, but yeah, this is one such book. It has all the topics you want to for your university exams, and also it has the clinical examination stuff in the back. Not this, yeah, this, the clinical examination stuff in the back, so it doesn't want you to use another manual for your clinical sessions. So yeah, this book is really helpful and really great. I think most of you are already using this. Next, pediatrics. With no doubt, I would say that OPGUI is the best textbook for pediatrics, which for my knowledge, this is really great. It has all the information just like the orthopedic textbook, very concise. And the best part of this book, my understanding of congenital heart diseases was really bad from the beginning, but this book, it was such a great solution for me that the congenital diseases of heart, this book had really great explanation. Even I didn't find the same from I know Harrison has a better explanation, but I felt it really tough to go through all that big pages. So this book really helped me to pass through it. And this too has beautiful charts in it with for all which is really needed for your Viva clinicals. And yeah, it also has the illustrations of different diseases. I don't know if you guys will be able to watch it, but if you want to, yeah, it does have the illustrations, and it comes in a hardbound, so it is really tough to carry, but a great book and really needed for your pediatrics. And what can I say? This is one such book that we don't want to lose from us. So after pediatrics, there comes obstetrics and gynecology. I use 2 textbooks for that. One is the DC Datta's textbook of obstetrics. This is also a beautiful book with illustrations. I'm such a person that it is really tough for me to only study through the black and white pages with no illustrations. It was really tough for me, so I usually prefer using books with some good illustrations like this. And this textbook has really good explanation. I know it might be a really big book than the other textbooks we have for obstetrics, but yeah, this book is really helpful if you are going through the situation right now where you might want some explanations which might not be from from the classes you're attending, and also you don't have your professors to go and talk directly whenever you want. So this is one such book which will be really helpful for your obstetrics knowledge. The labor mechanism in this book, God, it is really great. I have been through the labor the delivery session there, but then the exact mechanism of how the baby turns during the phases, it gives really great explanation for it. And also all the diseases part too, this textbook has really helped me go through it. And if okay, let me show you a picture of how is it going to happen, like the various lies. And okay, I might be lost it somewhere, especially when it comes to your okay, this is what I'm talking about. It has this great ultrasonography photographs, and also the illustrations of how is it going to happen. So this is one good book. Also we have another book from this, that is the Mudaliar and Meenan's textbook of obstetrics. I haven't used it, but I've seen it, my friends using it. It is one good book for clinical practices, but I don't know if it is really helpful for your university exams. It is a concise to the point textbook. And for the Shaw's, the one and only, okay, for the gynec, the one and only Shaw's textbook of gynecology. This is another book. Okay, yes, this also has beautiful illustrations. I don't think much of the illustrations are needed for gynecology. It is all about the pathological conditions seen in your uterus and in the female reproductive system. So yeah, this is the textbook for gynecology. It's a Shaw's textbook. So these are all the textbooks which I have used for dermatology or psychiatry. I think the Davidson's textbook of medicine is really enough. But coming to the clinical practices, for pediatrics, gynecology, obstetrics, and for orthopedics, for these four I haven't used any other manuals other than the textbooks, because they have the exact information required for the clinical sessions. But for medicine and for surgery, for the surgery we have been asked to use this textbook. Okay, I have used it really bad that I had to get it binded, so we have asked to use this textbook. I don't know if you can even see the name. So this is a clinical manual of clinical surgery from S. Das. I think most of the people or medical students in India use this, or at least from my state we use this textbook. So this textbook has all the information that is required for your surgical clinical practice. Everything, every description of all the conditions you might see in your surgical posting. So this is a really great book to use. It also has all the differential diagnosis. But for medicine, I used two books. One for the clinical examination, it was Hutchinson's. Hutchinson's gives the exact information of how to examine a particular clinical case. Like for example, the GIT, what are the quadrants you have to use, what are the quadrants, and what and how you have to examine the liver, the spleen, the kidney, and what differences you might find it. And I am pretty sure that whoever your examiners are, they will definitely ask you the questions which you will find in your Hutchinson's manual of surgery. The clinical viva, because medicine is vast, we have a lot of differential diagnosis just for a single symptom. So for that, use another big book. I know it is really big, but I think I use this. It's Indian writer manual of practical medicine for Alagappan. I think this is also a pretty famous book right here in the medical community, but I don't think, and trust me when I say that you don't take this textbook your clinical classes where your professor can see it, because I don't know why it is, but most of the professors wouldn't like you if you are reading from Alagappan's textbook. It's like a textbook, not a manual actually. But the differential diagnosis we have here, you can see I have used it pretty great. I had actually posted it, used post-its all over. So let me see what I have here. So this is from the respiratory. So the best part of this book, it has the examination part well described. Like see, you have the description of everything and why you do it, how you do it, and also what you find it and what you find when you do it, all the physiological and the pathological terms. Like, yeah, this is great. But it has a lot of differential diagnosis for every symptom, for every exam, for every part you exam or examine. Yeah, this is the book. But please try not to take it for clinical sessions. But given the situation, I know you don't have any classes right now, so I think using this book would be really helpful for your clinical viva sessions in medicine. Another medicine manual is the Macleod's manual, which is also a great book along with Hutchinson. You can use that too. So these were the books which I used. I know I haven't had a lot of books to show you, like 2 or 3 books. I'll definitely link all of them in the description below, hopefully from Amazon, I guess. So do check them out and let me know if this is really helpful, and any other textbooks which you might think might be helpful for some other people and which I might have been missed. So with that, thank you and have a great day. Stay home, stay safe, and study hard.